Listen, here's the thing. If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
A new year, a new vlog. Hello everyone, my name is Rick. I'm 32 years old. I'm a poker player and I live in my van currently. Right now I'm staying at my grandma's house. I'm watching her cats while she's on vacation. My goal has always been to be a professional poker player. I wouldn't quite call myself that yet. I'm not as successful as I'd like to be. Right now I've got about 20,000 or so in total bankroll, life roll, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, play a lot of poker, trying to get better, trying to, add to what I have. And my goal, or I guess I'm looking at the calendar. I'm looking at the LAPC calendar for the Commerce Casino coming up here in a month or two, and in 2 months is going to be the WPT 10K main event. And last year I was lucky enough to win a 10K seat in a drawing. I had like the lucky ticket drawing. So I got to play in a 10K tournament last year for free. And this year, I thought to myself that I was going to play again this year, and I'm really going to do my best to make it. So my goal is in the next month to make 2 months, 10 grand.
2 months.
10,000! That's right, 2 months, 10 grand. If I can make 2 months, or if I can make 10 grand in the next 2 months, I'm going to play in the WPT at the Commerce Casino, the 10K there. I know that's what you guys want to see. That's what you guys want to see me do, right? Just throw $10,000 away into a tournament that I definitely can't afford to be losing. Well, guess what? You guys forced me to do it. You guys forced me to play in this tournament. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Alright? Fine. Fucking throw away $10,000. But you know what? If that's what you guys want, that's what you guys are gonna get, okay? Give the people what they want, right? Like, fucking, I'm the goddamn gladiator in the Coliseum. You guys don't wanna see me get fucking eaten by a lion? Well, let's fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking jump in there and fight that goddamn lion, okay? Fucking, cause I got these stupid, crazy dreams. I saw fucking WPT on TV when I was in high school, and my brain just fucking short-circuited, and now I'm fucking think I'm gonna win one of these things. So let's do it. 2 months, 10 grand. All right.
You know what cheers me up when I'm feeling shitty? What? Rolled up aces over kings. All right? Yeah. Check raising stupid tourists and taking huge pots off them. Yeah. Stacks and towers of checks I can't even see over. Playing all night, high limit hold'em at the Taj, where the sand turns to gold. Fuck it, let's go. Don't tease me. Let's play some fucking cards.
Alright, the first pocket kings I had was 1560 effective, 510 blinds at the Commerce Casino. I raised to 40 under the gun +1, and middle position makes it 100. Everybody else folds back to me. And when this player makes it 100, which is like a really small 3-bet, my first thoughts are that usually this tends to be like a middling overpair, like jacks or queens sort of hand. So that's like trying to figure out where they're at. It's like kind of scared to put a lot of money in. So I'm gonna put the 4-bet in here with kings. I 4-bet it to 290, and this player calls. So far so good. The flop is queen, queen, 3 rainbow. Lead out for 190, you know, the GTO 1/3 c-bet with kings here, and our opponent quickly puts in the raise to 400, which is pretty distressing. I mean, it's definitely saying, you know, I've got aces beat. You know, I've got your aces beat. I've got the ace queen, queen something. But we can't go anywhere just yet. Definitely not gonna fold. I'm just not. I've already married this hand. You know, this is one of those times where you marry a hand at some point in the hand and you're just gonna make a mistake and I'm just going with it. So I call 400 on the flop. The turn is probably the worst turn that could come. The turn is a jack. Now, this just completes, you know, the most likely hand that we have beat now. You know what I mean? The next worst hand is now beating us. But instead, I decide to jam all in for 870. 870 all in. And yeah, he thinks for a couple minutes, and then eventually he makes the call with aces. Yeah, so, and we don't hit the king. What are you gonna do? Definitely overplayed kings there. Should have been able to get away from it on that turn, but didn't. And, you know, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. If we're losing a stack with kings to aces, you know, don't have to get away from that every time. Alright, this next hand is a pretty funny hand. I'm in the big blind against the small blind, who is a new player who I don't recognize at all. Everybody folds around to the button, and as the button's folding, I look over at the small blind and I ask, do you want to chop? He doesn't say anything, and he just tosses out a raise to 25. And then, like, the table laughs, because, like, the time is so perfect. It's just like it was just funny, you know, like the way the timing, I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, oh, okay, you don't want to chop. I call. I have 6-4 offsuit. I call, and the flop is queen jack deuce. He checks, I check. The turn is a king. He checks, I check. The river is a 7. He checks, I check. He's looking at me like, who are you gonna show? And just like, I'm waiting, because he's supposed to show first. And like 10 seconds go by, and then he just mucks. He just like mucks face down. So I win the pot with 6 high. All right, nice. Don't have to bluff that one. Sometimes your opponents will just give it to you. That does happen from time to time, no joke. Also, you know, I've seen today, I saw somebody go all in on the river, Broadway on board, no flush, Broadway on board. So, you know, everybody has the nuts. All you have to do is not fold and you win. And a guy goes all in on the river and the other guy folds. It was like a tiny pot, and he bet like 500, you know, 1,500 into it. But still, it's like, you got to be able to read the board and know, okay, the nuts are on the board. No, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid, guys. All right. All right, that's it. Thank you. All right. For the next pocket kings with 2,500-ish effective, we have kings under the gun, make it open to 35. We get 2 callers, and the big blind, a Romanian reg, who's a very good player, very solid, pretty much always there. He makes it 215. Comes back to us, we decide to make it 560, put out the 4-bet. Everybody else folds. He thinks about it for 30 seconds, but he seems pretty comfortable in his thought process, and he eventually calls. The flop is Queen 7-3 with 2 clubs, and we have the king of clubs in our hand. So he checks, and I really hate this queen. You know, it's like, what am I beating? What can I get him? You know, like, I can't get value from anything. Jacks, you know, any underpair isn't gonna call anymore. So I decide to check here. You know, maybe he'll put out a bluff or something. I don't know. Anyways, the turn is a blank. It's a deuce. He checks, and I think about it for a little bit, but you know, same situation. Like, the queen is still terrible, so I decide to also check. The river is an 8. It's a blank. So now he thinks about it for a long time. A really, really long time. I'm talking like 2 or 3 minutes. Almost to the point where it's like, you know, did I miss something? Is it my turn to act? Like, I played it cool, but, you know, he took a long ass time. Anyways, he bets 985 into a pot of 1,100 something. A little bit less than half of my remaining stack, and I'm just like, this screams to me like, you know, he hit the max value button. Like, I'm definitely not liking it. I don't know what to do. Again, I feel like I'm stuck in like a zone where I have to call, but that's just the wrong move, and I'm not gonna fucking like listen to my brain anymore. I'm gonna listen to my gut, and my gut is telling me to fold this hand. So I turn my hand face up to kind of get a read, but I know I'm going to fold it anyways. And I fold, you know, I show and fold. And I tell him, if you're bluffing, like if you bluffed me and you show, like I'll just like, you know, you'll put me on tilt for life. Like, you should definitely do it. You know, definitely trying to goad him into showing a bluff. And I know that he's shown bluffs before, so I think that he would in this spot. Instead, he thinks about it for a while, like he's listening to me, he thinks about it, and then he turns over 1 card without looking at it, and it happens to be the ace of clubs. So usually when people don't have to look, it's a pair, you know, it's the same card, and that's kind of what I think he had. Now, his other Romanian friend at the other end of the table was at first laughing at me for folding kings, like, how could you fold that? But then he started saying, you know, I think you might have been right, because he seems kind of pissed off. So, I don't know. Maybe I could have made a good fold, maybe not. Who knows? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. All right. Happy New Year.
Finally, I've learned this.
And
If you're too careful, your whole life can become a fucking grind.
yeah.